Well, good morning. Welcome to another van life adventure, this time right at sunrise in the middle of nowhere, Texas. I'm not even really sure exactly where we are. We drove like a solid hour into the middle of nowhere last night to get to this site that I scoped out on Google Maps because I want to fly around wind turbines. Every time we drive past a wind farm, they're just fascinating. They're huge, lumbering windmill things that just sit there and spin. And what better way to see them than from a paramotor? Way behind me, approximately 3 miles away, is where the wind farm starts. So we're gonna fly out that way and go explore it. Couple things to consider. This morning it said it was 27 degrees. You can see my breath. So I'm putting on a lot of layers and hopefully I don't freeze, but it's gonna be a cold one. Also, this launch is gonna be tricky, especially with giant gloves. I have room to inflate the wing, but if it goes off center, I'm definitely gonna snag one of these roadwork signs or a tree or something. Another thing to consider, although the wind on the ground here is basically non-existent, you can see off in the distance, I'll have to get some zoomed in shots, the wind turbines are spinning. And there's a bunch of photos online that demonstrate the turbulence and rotor created by wind turbines with fog as a visualization. The point is, wind turbines kick off a ton of rotor downwind of them. So we're gonna have to be really aware of where we fly and not get in the danger zone and not get slapped by a giant blade, even worse than getting slapped by some rotor monsters. The sun's just coming up, so I'm gonna lay out my wing. Hopefully we get this launch first try because I really don't want to do it twice. Let's get up in the air.
Adventures. Make sure everything is absolutely as perfect as it can be, because I only want to do this once. Wind's looking favorable right now, right this second. I gotta commit after the signs, before the van. Exactly how I would have hoped that went. Woo! It is 10 out of 10 cold. The type of cold that makes it hard to breathe when that wind goes right up your nose. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised as I'm climbing higher. It actually feels like it's getting a little bit warmer. Oh yeah, it is considerably nicer up here at altitude. I can feel the winds out of the south, so I'm on the upwind side of the wind turbines right now. Wow. Up here at altitude, I'm completely parked. The wind definitely ramped up in altitude. I gotta be super aware of that so that I have the ability to make it back home. The forecast for today was very light winds in the morning, getting very, very windy this afternoon, like 32 miles per hour by tonight. So I gotta make sure I can scrape back home down low. Don't want to have to call an Uber out here. Look at these giants. I gotta say, it's an intimidating thing to fly next to. I'm also really feeling like I shouldn't spend a whole lot of time out here, judging by the strength of the wind. I don't want to get parked for too long. But that is amazing. There's so many of them. And I am getting some funky air over here. It wouldn't be caused by the wind turbine. Either way, it's not very comforting. As much as I want to hang out here and fly around these guys, I can just feel the power of the wind out here. Looking back in the direction of home, I'm pretty much parked at this altitude. So I think I'm going to make the responsible decision to head on back. But that is sick. Still getting some weird air over here. I can only imagine it has to do with the different temperatures converging or something. But it's not that comforting given that I know that the wind speed is really strong. Apparently this is some sort of historical cemetery down here. It was marked on Google Maps. Well, not exactly the flight I had hoped for. Winds were much stronger at altitude and definitely a weird, unpredictable sort of layer of turbulence. Whether it's shear or mixing of the different temperatures, I'm not sure. But hey, when you make the responsible decision and you don't get slapped out of the sky by a giant wind turbine or have to throw your reserve and then subsequently get slapped out of the sky as you blow downwind by the giant wind turbine, it's a good day. Props to Jacqueline. She's putting out the windsock. I'll be curious to see what direction the wind's going on the ground. And as we're descending right here, I'm starting to hit the colder air. Alright, windsock. She's looking good. Wow. It is so much colder right here. Like 100 feet off the ground. Thankful for gravel.
Another successful mission. Glad to be safely back on the ground. Like I said, not exactly the flight I was hoping for, but when you make smart, responsible decisions, it's always a good day. So we're actually still, like I mentioned in the previous video, we're headed back east at this point. So we're headed through Texas on the way back home to New Jersey. I don't really know what else we're gonna run into along the way. This might be the last flight of our van life tour. So it was indeed our last flight of the van life tour. From this location, we headed straight back to New Jersey, stopped at a couple places along the way, but didn't get any more flying in. As you guys noticed during this trip, our vanmobile visited the shop 5 times, which kind of put a damper on some things in the trip. With more and more mechanical failures, we were kind of afraid to go off the beaten path too much. and we actually made it all the way home and then got a check engine light right as we got home. Now that we're back in New Jersey, I'm stoked to make a bunch more content here. I've got wings to review, I've got adventures to do, and hopefully springtime will come sooner than later. Now that we're back, I want to give a huge thank you to everyone that joined us for this adventure, especially everyone on Patreon supporting our mission. We really couldn't have done it without you guys, and your support means a whole lot to us. This van life trip was awesome. We covered a ton of ground all the way to Florida and then all the way out to California. Lots of cool adventures, and it was a grand time. Aside from that, ton of new adventures coming in New Jersey. We're going on a trip soon, and it's going to be outside of the country, just a short 1 week long thing, so stay tuned for more on that. I appreciate all your guys' support, and drop a like if you watched till now and you enjoyed this episode. Till the next one, peace. Zoop.